guys, I wanted to tell you the story of the time that the post office lost my wedding dress. So here we go. First of all, I'm doing a little bit of a get ready with me. I'm just doing like a really basic summer makeup look, and then I'm heating up my iron to tame these locks. So I'm gonna be kind of like doing that in between. But let's start with a little backstory, shall we? So I decided to sell my wedding dress after my wedding in October of 2016. I got married to my husband, Sam, who I'm sure you guys have seen on this channel. We got married at the Boardwalk Resort in Walt Disney World on October 12th, 2016. So we had a really intimate wedding for the longest time. I honestly thought we were gonna get eloped. Like I just thought we were gonna keep it super low key. And we wound up still keeping it really low key, just having our immediate family with us. I think in total we maybe had like 13 guests, maybe 15 guests, somewhere in that range. I think it was a total of 15 people, us included. So very laid back, very low key, and my dress was a little bit extravagant as far as price point for the venue, for how low key it was. It was like a middle of the week wedding. It was a morning wedding, but I loved this dress. I fell in love with this dress. So this is my dress. It retailed, I believe, for right about $2,000. That was before veil, that was before getting alterations, so that's the price point we're working with here, okay? Fell in love with the dress. I found it on a weekend. I was at a music festival with one of my girlfriends in Atlanta and actually wound up going back down to pick it out the next weekend. It was this whole thing. It was such a blast, and I'm so excited that we found it. But flash forward, closer to the wedding, go and pick up the dress, get married, everything's perfect. We had such a great time. Everything was amazing. I should back up a little bit. So part of the reason I was able to get the dress is because I was selling clothes so frequently on Poshmark. That's something I've done for a very long time. I think I've been on Poshmark maybe 4 or 5 years now. Some of my Poshmark sales actually helped me buy the dress that I wanted for my wedding, so it just made sense that I would resell the dress on Poshmark. Went ahead and listed it, and here is that exact listing. And if I'm looking in the viewfinder, it's just helping me to straighten my hair, so bear with me. He considered keeping my wedding dress. I'm a pretty sentimental person, but I didn't feel the need to hold on to it to be able to slip into it 10 years from now and be like, oh my God, it still fits, or it doesn't, or do I want to save it for somebody? I would much rather sell it, make some of that money back, someone else get to enjoy it and wear it while the dress is still fresh and barely worn and as beautiful as it's gonna be. So that was my personal opinion on it. That was my feeling. And if you sell your dress, if you keep your dress, if you keep it in a closet for 20 years for your daughter, do whatever you want to do, but I just wanted to sell it. So it was a couple weeks later, and I actually got a Facebook message from somebody, and I'm gonna pull those up right now. I got a message from a girl named Caitlin, and she just said, oh my gosh, we've been chatting a little bit on Poshmark. Basically, in a roundabout way, she was saying, I really want the dress, but would you be willing to go a little bit lower on price and take care of the sale off of Poshmark? So that way, she was saying I would make a bigger cut of it, she could spend a little bit less, and we could just handle this in our own way. She knows that Poshmark takes about 20%, blah, blah, blah. So she was kind of like spelling out the reasons that it might make sense. She's like, you'll make an extra $50. It's a win-win. I understand if you don't want to. And I really thought about it, but for me personally, selling it on Poshmark just made so much more sense. I was selling to someone who's out of state that I don't know at all. There's no buyer's protection. Wait for it. Wait for that part, okay? So there's really no protection in me selling to a complete stranger on the internet through PayPal or through some other kind of like money order or something, working something out. I'm not here for it. Even though I can see her Facebook profile, and it's not a lack of trust on my part, it's just I would feel more comfortable doing it on Poshmark. We went back and forth a little bit. She's like, I understand, this is the highest price point item that I've ever bought and probably the most important purchase. This is a big deal. Spend all this money on a wedding dress and not feel a little bit of an attachment to it. Like I definitely felt attached to it. I loved it. I felt really beautiful in it. It was such a big, important purchase, and I was excited and ready and willing to pass it on, but it wasn't done without a, oh my gosh, like my dress. Someone else is taking my dress. So went back and forth a little bit, and I wound up selling it to her through Poshmark. So here's that, all those details. What I sold it for, what I was gonna make for it. She was all good to go. there's that. Kind of laying the foundation a little bit. Really nice thing about Poshmark is if you are selling a high priced item, I think it's over $500, they have a verification step. So instead of me sending my dress directly to this girl out west, it was actually gonna make a stop off in San Francisco at Poshmark's headquarters, where they were gonna verify, make sure that everything was in the condition that I listed it as, make sure that the designer was correct. I think mostly they use this option for people who are selling shoes, bags, purses, things like that, that are often duped. I don't think that anyone would go out of their way to dupe a wedding dress and try to sell it under that name, but you never know. That was where it was headed. I dropped it off at a post office outside of Myrtle Beach, and we waited, and a week had passed, 2 weeks had passed, 3 weeks had passed, and we both were refreshing the page because I can see where tracking is headed and so can she, and it never left my state. It left my city, but it never left the state. Even if I go to my Poshmark page today, this is where the updated tracking says. It just said it completely stopped in Columbia, South Carolina. Okay, I just wound up doing the rest of that off camera because it is hot in here. At that point, the dress is stuck in Colombia. We could not track it, trace it, nothing. All the information that the post office had, we had as well. All the information that Poshmark had, the post office had, we had. Everyone was caught up. Everyone was on the same playing field. Here's what's really frustrating to me is using the service through the post office really did nothing, really did not protect us as a buyer or a seller in any way, even though we had insurance on the item for what it was valued at. About $2,000. Or I think what it was valued at was, I want to say $1,200. That's what I sold it for. I sent in a letter of request to the post office online with all my receipts, tracking everything under the sun that I could have possibly needed to prove that this is what I sold. 2 weeks after that, I got a letter back and a check in the mail. A check in the mail from the post office. $100. $100. With a note at the bottom that said if I wanted to petition for more or write in an appeal, I could do that and possibly get the full amount. The bride and I, we decided to take matters into our own hands. We sold through Poshmark for a reason, and we basically hounded them on all of their social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. We were emailing them constantly. Instagram was our main source, and finally that's where one of them got back to me, a representative got back to me and basically said, okay, let's get this situation handled. What do we need to do? Let's see everything from the post office, what they've done so far. We need some proof basically. So I sent them the listed item on their platform that I sold and proof that it had made me further. It didn't even leave my state. It didn't even make it to California. It didn't even make it to their sorting and warehouse and everything like that. It was just gone, completely gone. Who in the world knows where it is now? It could seriously be sitting in a warehouse somewhere. It could have been stolen off the truck. Someone could have worn it. Multiple brides could have worn my dress. You know what though? I'd be happy about that. I'd be happy if somebody got to wear it because it is a bomb dress. Poshmark really came through for both of us. It was just a couple days later that both of us wound up having redeemable cash money in our accounts. I will show you that here. That was the amount that I got back, and I've been talking to Caitlin, the bride, through Facebook, and I think I got her number at one point. So we were chatting almost every day, like, have you heard anything? Have you seen anything? What did the post office say? Oh my God, I can't believe this is going on. So it was just crazy, and I'm so thankful that I stuck with my gut and sold on Poshmark, because the total amount that I would have made different if I had sold to her directly, done my own shipping, gone through PayPal, whatever, would have been $50 more. But to run the risk of possibly selling on PayPal and maybe her getting her money back from PayPal, but then me probably just getting booted off of PayPal as a bad seller or something, so running that risk, and also me definitely not getting my money back, I doubt I would have gotten my money back. So I didn't wind up going through with an appeal through the post office. I mean, I could have. What I perceived happening was that Poshmark wound up going after the post office and kind of handling that for us and having more of the power and say so to make it happen. So they just kind of paid us back both our money. That was it. I still actively sell on Poshmark and love that platform to death. I'm so thankful that I wound up selling on there. How crazy would it be if for whatever reason the post office did find my dress and they have all my contact information? I'm sure it's not stored anywhere, but it's been years, guys. It's been actual year. If they did ever find it, I don't even live in the state anymore. Like, even if the dress was sent back there or they tried to reach out to me or something, I don't know. And I just want to leave a message for my dress. I'm sorry that I didn't give you everything you deserved. I didn't secure the sale. I didn't make sure that everything was good. Maybe I should have gone on another platform. Maybe I should have gone with anybody else, literally anybody else but the post office. Maybe you were stolen out the back of a truck. Maybe someone felt the weight of your box and said, wow, this must be valuable. Maybe someone heard the shimmy of the beads and said, oh my God, is this a giant disco ball? I want this. I don't know who has you. I don't know if anybody's hurt you, but I love you and I miss you, and I might not see you again. And that's okay. We had good times. We danced, we partied, we got married. We were in Disney World. I have a husband now because of you. I couldn't have worn anything else. You were the dress for me, and I'm so thankful for you. And I'm just sorry that you were disrespected along the way. And I love you. So yeah, guys, that's the time that the post office straight up lost my wedding dress, and I've never seen it again. I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.